Hey Boo Buddies, Anya here, and we've got a little different sort of video today. Number one, this video is in real time, so that'll be fun. We are finishing up the HallowZine project that we started at the beginning of the quarter, where we went over how to plot out some thumbnails, and then we did some watercolor paintings, turning those thumbnails into illustrations. Now we're going to bring them all together to make the little mini magazine style HallowZine picture book that I will be handing out for trick-or-treaters this year. So as you can see, I'm starting with a piece of printer paper. This is 8.5 by 11 printer paper I pulled right out of my printer tray. And I have folded in half both hot dog ways and hamburger ways, as the saying goes. Now I have it folded in quarters along the hot dog ways and then folded again on the hamburger ways, and folding each one to the edge. This right here is how most information on how to make mini magazine zines goes, and this is the standard fold that we all do. And then once you have everything folded into a little booklet, just like so, you need to unfold everything and go back to hamburger ways, like so. And then you grab your scissors or cutting implement. I have tried this with both a X-Acto knife and scissors, and for all the imperfections that I get with scissors, scissors works better. So I'm cutting all the way to where the edge meets in the center, just like that. So now I have a hole in the center, and when I push it together, it makes a book. So that is the majority of the information that most people will give you when they start talking about how to make the mini magazines. And then of course, you need to number what things are going where. So I'm going to just take a quick pen and I'm going to number all my pages so that you guys can see what we're working with. So there's 8 squares in the booklet, including the covers front and back. So 1, 2, 3, etc. I'm going to number each page nice and big and dark so that we can see very clearly what number is what, no confusion. And just to be added sure, even though there's only 8 pages, I'm going to mark the tops and bottoms of any numbers that might be confusing, such as the number 6. It's the number 6, not the number 9, so I'm going to put a line under it so that there's no confusion. Number 7 and number 8, which looks the same both right side up and upside down. We need to know which side is up, so again I'm going to give it a little line underneath. Okay, so now we have all of the pages numbered that we're going to use and where we're going to put all our illustrations. What I'm going to do now is show you how I use this and take it to my computer to set everything up. So I'm going to take my little ruler right now, and this is interesting. I'm actually going to use it as a ruler. I am doing these measurements in centimeters because that is what this ruler is in, and frankly, inches are a bit much for what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to map up margins. When you print on your normal printer, a lot of printers and print programs will add a margin to what you're printing on. So you can either turn that off, and even still you need to be aware that you don't want your images and your text to bleed over. So it's important to map out at least about 1/2 centimeter to a full centimeter around where your margins are going to go around each image, and so that you don't get any bleed out when you are setting everything up. It's also important to measure out how big your squares and your rectangles are. So your square in this instance would be like 8 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7. And as you can see, the numbers are upside down on half the page. So when we take this to the computer, we need to know which images need to be flipped, and that's really where having your measurements plotted out is going to help, so that, because it's hard to look at upside down images and go, this is going to fit, this is looking right, etc. So I'm going to write out how big my squares are and how big my rectangles are, and then factor in where my margins need to go around, because I don't want anything to get folded in the wrong place, and I don't want anything to get lost, anything important to get lost during the print process. Once I've mapped all of this out on paper, I take this paper and I hold this paper next to me while I sit with my photo editing and my graphic editing software, whatever software you use, and use that to give myself some guidelines, and I just make them match the paper. I make my blank project start out with 8.5 high and 11 inches long, because that's what my paper is going to look like when I print it out. So hopefully when I do all that, then I can sit there with all my printed out pieces of paper and fold them into mini picture books. So this is what it all looks like. And you can see along the edges, there is a little bit that the printer added in that margin, even though I told it not to. And we're gonna fold this the exact same way we did at the beginning. So hamburger style in half, then hot dog style in half. And one of the beautiful things about having them printed out like this is I can then use the image to line up my corners, so that hopefully it comes out nice and clean looking. Then I'm going to fold along that hamburger fold at hot dog style and take the open edge and fold it all the way over and make that first crease. And do the same on the other side, going inwards all the way to the center. Once I've got all my folds ready to mark out, I am going to fold back hamburger style and take my scissors and cut in the center straight to where all the folds meet that four corners fold, just like so. Then I'm going to open it all back up, squeeze it together, boom, tiny mini picture book. Now, of course, I just have to print that out and fold them up 50 more times so that I have enough for all the little ghouls that are coming by my door this season. Thank you for joining me on this 3-part HallowZine series, Ghoul Buddies, and I will see you next time.